I am a corporate commercial litigator in Calgary at McCarthy Tetro. I focus on generally financial institutions litigation that runs the gamut from class actions to issues which have reputational risk. In addition, I have a large part of my practice which is securities litigation, and that's sort of a split practice, so it covers both civil litigation and a variety of issues that brokers or IAs, et cetera, might experience, and the regulatory side. So I do Securities Commission work, regulatory work at IROC, MFDA, that sort of thing. My practice sort of evolved. At one point, like many people, I thought I wanted to be a criminal litigator, and I actually summered at a great criminal shop in Vancouver, Smart & Williams at the time. And Jim Williams had a pretty strong view that doing straight criminal articles for what he considered to be a young person was too limited. I was 26 at the time, so I'm not sure I was that young, but in any event. So I went off and did full articles at McCarthy Tetro, and there I experienced a whole bunch of different areas of litigation, realized that maybe I wasn't interested in just criminal. And I went on to work at a boutique litigation shop in Vancouver with Rod Anderson, who was one of and is one of the top security litigators in BC, and Joe Gladdy. So they had a little bit of criminal, plus a whole bunch of big corporate commercial litigation that was really interesting to me, and a big focus on securities litigation. There are two qualities that my clients appreciate about me. Number one, I give frank and honest advice, even if it's not something that they want to hear. So if your case isn't good, I'm going to tell you. I'm still going to fight hard for you no matter what, but I'm going to tell you the true circumstances that you're facing. And secondly, nobody is ever going to overwork me. I'm going to be in that courtroom and I'm going to be the most prepared person there. So you are for sure going to have a good advocate on your side. I'm really fortunate at McCarthy's that we work on a wide variety of teams. So I'm often working on national teams from across the country that are seamless in terms of class actions, and every single one of my files is operated in a team-like setting. We're not lone wolves at McCarthy's, so I always operate with juniors and seniors and people from other offices because they're often cross-jurisdictional. One of my favorite teamwork examples was an injunction came in when I was a senior associate, actually, and it was assigned to myself because it was a financial institution and a fraud matter, of which I have some particular expertise even back then. And I had a junior associate working with me, and it had to be done overnight, as injunctions often do. So we started working on it, and everybody rallied around us. We had senior partners coming by at 7 and 8 o'clock at night to throw their ideas into what would be best. And at 5:30 in the morning, senior partners, while we were still working, showed up to proofread to make sure that we'd covered everything. When you're working all night, whether your grammar and everything was right. One of them even offered his gym membership because we looked so awful to go have a shower. Of course, we didn't have time because we had to walk into court. But it was a great team effort, and we got it done, and we got the money. I'm really fortunate at McCarthy Tetro that I have the opportunity to do a significant amount of pro bono and community involvement. One of the activities that I'm immensely involved in at our firm is our Pride Network. When our Pride Network started at McCarthy's Tetro in Calgary, we had no out lawyers. So for some reason, they asked me if I would lead it. It might have been because I was the Vancouver transport from the girl that used to live in the West End, but in any event, I took on the role of heading the Pride Network in our Calgary office, and I'm really proud to say that we are the most active Pride Network in our entire firm. We've run 4 annual combined SOJIC events that have had anywhere from the judiciary speaking to other lawyers from across the country, and I'm really honored and so proud when people say, I can't believe a firm like McCarthy's is holding an event like this. Throughout my career, I've had some fantastic mentors at all the different firms I've worked. I still remember some of the pieces of advice that were given to me in my first year of practice, one of which was from Joe Gladdy, now Judge Gladdy, who told me the day you stop getting nervous when it's time to go to the court is the day you should stop going to court because you weren't putting enough attention and enough emphasis on the importance of your advocacy. And second, if you want it written in your own voice, then write it yourself. And that means that when you're dealing with mentors or your mentees and the juniors that you work with, that unless it's substantively wrong, try not to change it stylistically. It never feels good to have your work torn apart for different sentence structure, different not necessarily emphasis, but different sentence structure. So as long as it's substantively correct, I try not to change people's work, because if I want it in the way in which I would write it or the way I would speak it, I'd change it and do it myself.